So where did we end the last episode? She's alive. The motor was running. So what did I have left to do? Collect the bodywork, sort the suspension out, dyno her, a few other things. So why not come and have a look at what I've been doing for the last few weeks? Welcome back. So let's have a little recap on where we're up to with the Cafe Racer. Brain's been powder coated, motor's been refitted, forks, brakes, exhaust system, coolant. Bike's now running, which is a real milestone. Only a few little jobs left to do. First job, get the wiring done for this clock. Then I can get rid of those stock gauges and tidy everything up, put the headlight on, and that's that, done. Next job after that is to get this rear shock sorted. I must pick up the phone and order the correct spring for the ProFlex. Then I can fit that. Oh, PDQ. Going to go to them to get it dynoed. Even though it runs really well, considering it's set up for an airbox, it does need to be done. Bodywork. Spoke to the paint shop this morning, actually. To be fair, end of next week should be here. And that's the bike complete. So for now, my mate Rich is on his way over. He's going to do this wiring, I hope. I hope it's as easy as I'm hoping. Things are never that easy. I don't think it's going to be a simple, direct, cut, chop, solder. I think it's going to be a little bit more complex than that. So anyway, until Rich gets here, I'm going to stand here patiently watching my clock. So finally, after a few months of me hassling it, my mate Rich has actually turned up. Look, here, this is Rich. Rich, this is...
Hello.
This is everyone. So Rich is going to do the wiring with me. So we're going to do a bit of head scratching now and a bit of...
We're going to attempt to do it.
Yeah.
I'm nearly there. I'm getting to a point where if the light's bad...
You're nearly there what you can't see like me.
Oh, not that bad.
So when if the light's bad...
When the light's bad or I'm tired, I'm noticing it. It's not far off. We're all going downhill, aren't we?
Basically, look, these are my reading glasses. Basically, myself and Rich are old.
We're ready for the scrap heap.
We've realised that actually this machine that we travel around in is, it's failing.
Yeah.
You know, now my arms are only so long before I can't read something.
It's all downhill.
Yeah, it's all downhill. Anyway, so Rich is making some progress with this. He's figuring it out that there's one wire he doesn't actually know what it does. So I've said to him, stick it on your tongue and let's put some electricity through it and see what it does.
Nice. 13.37 volts. You start her up.
You want me to start her up?
I want you to start her up.
You've got the ignition key.
Oh yeah.
We just tip the fuel tank.
On.
You ready?
It's on. That's not our plus. Yellow and green are changing. Green and black. Oh, that's right. Green and black was on negative.
Green what?
Green and black was on negative.
Okay.
So they put like a positive feed, negative, and then that's our change in voltage that gives us our tacho input.
You see why I got Rich round now, he knows what he's talking about. So I've got a big thank you to say to Richard. Thank you very much, Richard. Rich, cheers, mate. Muchly appreciated.
Thanks for dinner.
Thanks for dinner and Easter egg stroke birthday present.
Yeah.
Right, so electrics all work on the bike. I got to order, like I say, a oil pressure switch. I've got a few other small parts to order. Bodywork will be ready at the end of the week. I shall collect that next week. So really, other than dynoing and then getting the bike MOT'd, the bike is almost I would say 90% finished now. We're going to pack up for tonight. I'm going to come back tomorrow when I've got a bit of time and just place all the wiring where it needs to go. And yeah, Bob Jean, Fanny Giron, and Stinger's alive and sounding really good too. Anyway, I will see you tomorrow. So it's not tomorrow. It's actually a couple of weeks later. I've been pretty busy with things. I got the oil pressure switch, fitted that works. I fitted the battery. I've sorted all the electrics out underneath the seat to where they're going to go. I've actually got the bodywork back. So I was able to figure out where I wanted things. I will show you. It looks amazing. I've also been onto the guys at Nitron and I have a new spring. This is sprung hopefully correctly for the bike and 65 to 75 kilo kind of rider. But because there's no weight on the back, that's why they've gone a little bit softer. Otherwise, it would have sprung for kind of 75 to 85 to allow for the extra weight that the bike would normally carry. So today's job I need to do is compress that spring and remove it. If it was a C-spanner preload adjuster, it'd be really easy. It'd be just a case of undoing that. The spring would drop out. I could remove the circlips, swap the spring over. But because it's got the remote preload adjuster, I have to use spring compressors to compress the spring. So I'm going to get it in a vise, compress it. Hopefully it'll be nice and easy. Pop the circlip off, swap the springs over, put it all back together, and then fit it to the bike. Okay, so this has been a bit of a pig to compress. Normally they would compress a little easier, but I think the fact that this is a 95 kilo spring, it's just really tough. So I managed to release it far enough to get the circlip out. If I can get this out, then the rest will come apart quite easily. Saying that, and there we go. So that's that circlip. And that slides out like so. I'll take that out of the vise. Okay, so that was a real pig. I think part of that was the fact that the spring is so stiff. Even the little spring compressors were struggling to compress it. It's done, it's off. Now I've got to be really careful on the new one not to damage the powder coat on it. Hopefully it will compress a little bit easier than that. Pop all that back together and fit it onto the bike. So this is basically just a reverse of the removal, but what this is a lot easier. The other way, the other spring was so stiff, I had to fight it. This one's going on a lot easier. I've probably got about another 5 to 10 mil to compress it, and then I should be able to slip the circlip in. Okay, so now we can pop the clip back in. Hopefully this will slot in quite nicely, like that. And then we can release the tension on both spring compressors. And then that will be done. These bolts holding the suspension in are literally finger tight because I knew this was going to be coming out. So this is a really simple, just undo, slide the bolts out. That's the bottom one. I think the top one I won't even need a spanner. In fact, there you go, I can just do that with my fingers. Bolt I'm just going to take out by using the paddock stand to lever the swinging arm up just to take the tension off it. Then I'll lower it down. And then I can pop that top bolt out. And just be careful not to knock all the powder coating away with the crappy old one. Served its purpose. So what I do is I'm going to get a little bit of waterproof grease. I'm going to grease these up. No copper slip. That'd be for you, Keith. Okay, so a little bit of waterproof grease on these. The top one. Okay, so I've got to pop that into place. This side. Buzz the nut onto it. Not done that up yet. I'm just going to do the bottom bolt. Bit of grease on that one as well. Bung this bottom bolt in. I'm just going to use the swing arm with the paddock stand to lever that into place. And I have a problem. What is the problem? There we go. Shouldn't have been that difficult, but it was for some strange reason. So, oh, can't even see me there, can you? Hello. Let me lower this down. Okay, so a quick consultation with a manual, and got my favourite little tool out, my torque wrench. Top and bottom mounts are both 37 Newton meters. So 29. 37. So bring this down to the ground. I'll pop that out. Now if I can compress this, oh, look at that. Well, actually, to be fair, that's the bench. Oh, look at that. We've got suspension that actually goes up and down, unlike the other spring, which was, well, it was like a scaffold tube. Look at that. Good, right, we've got a few of these small jobs done. Some of them are quite big, like the suspension. Other things like just tidying up the wiring was quite small jobs, but everything's getting there. Now, the next thing to do is the tank. So I've got to put the Honda badges on, I've got to put all the pipe work in the bottom, I've got to put the fuel taps on, I've got to put the original cap back on, because the reproduction one I've got is rubbish, and the original one's actually really nice. So do you want to have a look at it? Should we reveal it to you? I've been looking at this for the last half an hour thinking, do I, don't I, do I, don't I? Well, I think it's time you saw the tank too. This is what I've been waiting for. This is what you've been waiting for. This is the colour that I went for. It's a beautiful, beautiful burnt orange. So what do you think of that? I'm absolutely chuffed to bits with the colour of that. It's come out far better than I expected. Well, no, actually I'm lying. It's not come out better than I expected, because I knew the guys would do an amazing job on it. But again, when you only see a colour chit and not the full thing, you know, it's difficult to really worry what it's going to look like with the curves, etc. So really happy with that. So I think for now, I'm going to say goodbye, and next episode, we'll get the tank fitted, we'll put all the badges on, we'll put the fuel cap back on, etc. So until then, if you're liking what you see, please share this, because this bike will be on display very soon. In fact, that's big news. The bike will be at the Bike Shed show at Tobacco Dock at the end of May. So come and have a look at it for yourselves, see what I've done. See if you like it, give me the thumbs up. So I hope you enjoyed the series so far. If you like what you've seen, click subscribe, give me the thumbs up, leave some comments, do something. But as you can see over my shoulder, the Stinger is complete. She's out in the daylight for the first time. So in the next episode, we're going to have a closer look at the completed bike.